Ever found yourself mindlessly scrolling through your social media feed, losing track of time? It's a familiar scene for many of us, an almost hypnotic experience of bright colors, catchy captions, and never-ending content. This is no accident. Social media platforms are designed to capture and hold our attention, playing into our natural curiosity and desire for connection. At the heart of this phenomenon is the infinite scroll feature, a clever trick that ensures there's always something new to discover. Just one more swipe, one more click, and before you know it, minutes have turned into hours. This is the addictive nature of social media. A powerful tool that can be both a time waster and a goldmine, depending on how it's used. The psychology behind this is fascinating. It's the same principle that keeps gamblers hooked to slot machines. The unpredictability, the possibility of reward with every scroll, every click. It's a potent mix that keeps us coming back for more. But what if this wasn't all about cat videos and celebrity gossip? What if we could harness this addictive quality for something beneficial, like learning? Enter Duolingo, a language learning app that dared to dream of this possibility. Born out of a vision to democratize education and a desire to make learning accessible to all, Duolingo was more than just an app. It was a mission. At the heart of this mission was one man, Luis von Ahn, co-founder of Duolingo. Luis, a computer scientist by profession, was not unfamiliar with the power of technology. He had previously developed reCAPTCHA, a system that helps digitize books while protecting websites from bots. But with Duolingo, he was determined to do more than just protect websites. He wanted to change the world. Luis knew that smartphones were becoming increasingly ubiquitous, even in low-income communities. He saw in these devices a potential pathway to education that hadn't been fully explored. If people could spend hours scrolling through social media feeds, why couldn't they spend time learning a new language on their phones? This question led to the birth of Duolingo. The vision was to create a platform that made language learning not just accessible, but engaging, even addictive. The aim was to make education not a privilege, but a right, available to anyone with a smartphone and an internet connection. But it wasn't just about teaching languages. Duolingo sought to address educational disparities on a global scale. It aimed to level the playing field by providing high-quality educational content to those who would otherwise not have access to it. In essence, Duolingo was designed to be more than just another app on your phone. It was meant to be a tool for empowerment and personal growth, a means to overcome the barriers of traditional education systems. Duolingo's goal was to make learning as addictive as scrolling through social media. So, how did Duolingo attempt to make learning addictive? Well, they took a page out of the social media playbook, implementing engagement strategies that are as clever as they are effective. Let's delve into some of these strategies. First up, we have the streaks. You know that satisfying feeling of accomplishment when you keep a streak going? Maybe it's going to the gym every day or reading a chapter of a book each night. Duolingo tapped into this feeling by rewarding users for daily use of the app. Each consecutive day you practice, your streak increases, encouraging you to keep the momentum going. It's a simple yet powerful tool to promote consistency, a critical aspect of learning a new language. Next, personalized notifications. Ever noticed how social media platforms send you alerts tailored to your interests? Duolingo does the same. If you're slacking off, it sends you a gentle nudge, reminding you to practice. If you're on a roll, it gives you a pat on the back, encouraging you to keep up the good work. These notifications aren't just random, they're based on your behavior, making them feel personal and relevant. Lastly, gamification. This is a popular strategy used by many platforms to keep users engaged. Duolingo turned the learning process into a game, complete with levels to pass, points to earn, and even a leaderboard to compete with others. This approach makes learning feel less like a task and more like a fun challenge, increasing the likelihood that users will stick with it. So, you see, these engagement strategies aren't just about keeping users on the app. They're about fostering a consistent, engaging, and enjoyable learning experience. They're about turning a task often seen as daunting, learning a new language, into a habit that's as addictive as scrolling through your favorite social media feed. In essence, Duolingo found a way to make learning a habit, not a chore. But how do you ensure that this habit is not just entertaining, but also educational? This is the question that Duolingo had to grapple with. It's one thing to make an app engaging, but quite another to ensure that it also delivers meaningful educational content. Duolingo's approach can be likened to a tightrope walk, a delicate balance between engagement and education. On one side of the rope is the need to keep users coming back, to keep them hooked. This is where the engaging elements come into play. The personalized notifications, the streaks, the friendly competition, all designed to tap into our natural love for games and our innate desire to progress. But on the other side of the rope is the need to ensure that users are actually learning something worthwhile. After all, what's the point of an educational app if it doesn't educate? This is where Duolingo really shines. Each lesson is carefully structured to introduce new concepts in a digestible manner and to reinforce these concepts through repetition and practice. The app uses a variety of teaching methods to cater to different learning styles, and it continually adapts to the user's performance, offering extra practice where needed. But perhaps the most impressive part of Duolingo's approach is the way it seamlessly integrates these two sides of the rope. The educational elements are not separate from the engaging elements, but rather they are intertwined. The streaks are not just for fun, they encourage regular practice, which is key to learning a new language. The personalized notifications are not just to keep you hooked, they remind you to review what you've learned, to reinforce it in your memory. And so, Duolingo manages to keep users engaged, not just with bells and whistles, but with meaningful learning. It makes the hard work of learning a new language feel like a game, and in doing so, it makes learning accessible and enjoyable for millions of people around the world. Duolingo mastered the art of making learning fun, but also effective. With its innovative approach to EdTech, it has set a high bar for future educational apps to strive for. So, what has been the result of Duolingo's unique approach? As we delve into the impact of Duolingo on education, we see a wave of change sweeping across the globe. By leveraging the omnipresence of smartphones and the addictive nature of social media, Duolingo has been able to democratize language learning. It has reached millions of users, breaking down barriers of geography, socioeconomic status, and even age. Duolingo has turned the tables on traditional education models. It has shown that learning doesn't have to be confined to the four walls of a classroom. It can happen anytime, anywhere, right at your fingertips. And more importantly, it can be fun, engaging, and addictive, just like scrolling through your social media feed. But the impact of Duolingo doesn't stop at language learning. It has opened up a world of possibilities. The Duolingo model has the potential to expand to other subjects, creating a ripple effect across the entire educational landscape. Imagine learning history or mathematics with the same level of engagement and enjoyment as you experience while learning Spanish or French on Duolingo. Moreover, Duolingo's approach has highlighted the crucial role technology can play in facilitating equitable access to education and personal growth. It has shown that with the right strategies, technology can be harnessed to level the playing field in education, providing everyone with an equal opportunity to learn and grow. So, while Duolingo started as a simple language learning app, its impact has been far-reaching. It has transformed the way we think about education, making learning accessible, engaging, and enjoyable for millions of users across the globe. In conclusion, Duolingo's approach has not only revolutionized language learning, but also paved the way for a future where learning can be as addictive as social media. The world of education is on the cusp of a new era, and we can't wait to see what's next. What does this mean for the future of learning? The success of Duolingo paints an exciting picture of what's to come. Imagine, if you will, a world where education is not a privilege but a right, accessible to all, regardless of location or financial standing. A world where learning is not a chore but a challenge that we eagerly embrace, driven by the same impulse that keeps us scrolling through our social media feeds. In this future, technology plays a crucial role. It's not just about delivering content, but about creating an experience that's personalized, engaging, and yes, even addictive. It's about turning the pursuit of knowledge into a game that we can't wait to play, where every victory, no matter how small, is celebrated. And it's not restricted to language learning. Picture a platform for any subject you can think of, from math to music, history to horticulture, each one designed to keep us hooked, to keep us learning, to keep us growing. Imagine a future where we're as hooked on learning as we are on our social media feeds. That's the world Duolingo is helping to create.